Proud to report that Gambia Police Force Forensic Lab now have the capacity to collect and analyze forensic DNA samples. To show to you the seriousness of this administration, few months in my ascension to this position, this is not something I'm not happy to report about, but I fired 8 police officers in one single day. Defilement of a girl under the age of 18, 10. 2024 is 0. Economic crime, 1.
Good morning and welcome to yet again another very important occasion of the Gambia Police Force. Firstly, we want to say welcome the media to the police headquarters for the second edition, or the second time that the Inspector General of Police, Sidi Mukhtar Toure, will address the media, by extension, addressing the nation. Before we get into the program proper, I would want us to take a minute and observe our individual players, please. To our doers. The Inspector General of Police, Sidi Mukhtar Toure, Deputy Inspector General of Police, AIGs here present, senior police officers, police commissioners here present, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome once again to the police headquarters. Today we will have the program as follows. We will have a statement by the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mamadou Sow. Thereafter, we'll have the statement by the Inspector General of Police, Sidi Mukhtar Toure. We will then have question and answers. Thereafter, we will have a tour of a forensic. I want to inform this gathering that the Gambia Police Force has, for the first time, instituted and developed and put in place state-of-the-art equipment as far as forensic lab is concerned. And immediately after this, we will have a tour of that. Please be informed. Immediately after the question and answer session, then we will have a tour of the forensic lab. But thank you. At this moment, I want to invite the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mamadou Sow, to make a statement.
Good morning, the Honorable Inspector General of Police of the Gambia Police Force, the Assistant Inspector General of Police for Administration, the Assistant Inspector General of Police for Operations, Commissioners of Police here, senior police officers present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. But first, before I begin any statement here, I want to crave your indulgence here for us to take a minute silence of prayer for all our fallen and departed comrades who have, unfortunately, or rather naturally, made the call of our Creator. For here, preceding that, we give them a moment of prayer for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open his doors of mercy for all of them, send them to the highest Jannah, and bestow benevolence, will, health for those of their offspring that they have left behind them, to also be protected by the same Lord and all of us who are present here today. Let's just a moment prayer for them. Thank you. My dear Inspector General of Police, I sought your permission here to proceed. Once again, good morning to everyone here present. As you can recall, this is the second time or the second segment of the Inspector General of Police calling for a dialogue or a brief, as the previous speaker has alluded to speak to the press and to the nation at large. This is why we are gathered here this morning. On an introductory note, I want to put these things on record. It is imperative and it is well noted that the vision of the current administration is to ensure that we work along transparency and accountability. And in such, it is prudent that at a given opportunity where it is possible, because we can't be speaking to all of you every day, but it is indeed necessary to inform you the progress, the challenges, and the way forward in trying to usher this magnanimous institution whose task is solely and wholly to oversee the continuation of society and ensure there is sanity, there is peace and security across the length and breadth of this great motherland of us. So in doing so, we will not be working in silo, but to inform every way of the step, those that matters, that here we are, we've gone this far, and when we want to go this far, which today, I'm sure, before you leave this building, you will be equipped with information that will be very much interesting and very much accountable and transparent, so that everybody here and outside will know how far we've gone, where we have started, where we are, and where we want to drive our objectives to. So in a nutshell, I will not bother you here with lengthy speech. I'll just create the room here so that what is the needful is done as quickly as possible. I know most of you have other errands to work, so it's not in our wish to hold you here as long as necessary, but to give you what is required as far as sharing the information and the need to ensure that everybody is aware of what the current administration is up to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mamadou Sow, for that very wonderful introductory remark of this very important occasion. At this moment, I would want to invite the Inspector General of Police, Sidi Mukhtar Toure. Inspector General of Police, please.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police. Once again, good morning, everybody. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, responsible for administration, Mr. Ibrahim Abba. Assistant Inspector General of Police, responsible for police operations, General Pate Jallo. The Crime Management Coordinator, Mr. Bubasar, ably representing the AIG for Crime Management, Alaji Demba Sow. Senior commissioners and senior officers here present, members of the Fourth Estate, that's the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor to welcome you all to my 180 days in office press briefing here at the Police Headquarters Conference Hall. Looking back, it seems like yesterday when we had 90 days briefing in this very hall a few months ago. Indeed, a lot does happen in 3 months. I come before you once again to give an account of what has been achieved so far challenges encountered, and what activities are planned. My statement will cover the following areas: the strategic vision for the Gambia Police Force, strategies deployed to ensure safer communities across the Gambia, successes registered, challenges encountered, and charting a path forward. 1. Strategic vision. Our strategic vision for the Gambia Police Force remains the same, and that is to be a professional, accountable public service, respecting human rights, and of course the rule of law. 2. Strategies deployed to ensure safe communities across the Gambia. To operationalize the above-mentioned vision, the fine men and women of Gambia Police Force deploy the following strategies: intelligence-led policing, robust day and night patrol to prevent commission of crimes, continuous training of personnel to maintain their effectiveness, strategic deployment of the Police Intervention Unit and Anti-Crime Unit personnel across the country to provide armed support to the general duty police officers and sister services, providing guards for VIPs, diplomatic missions, and vital installations, regular sensitization on crime prevention and road safety, establishment of the Highway Patrol Unit. This creation helped reduce road traffic accidents from 278 in the second quarter of 2023 to 151 in the second quarter of 2024, representing a reduction of road traffic accidents from 65% in the second quarter of 2023 to 35% in the second quarter of 2024. Of course, we are also continuing with our performance on static checkpoints, and this is to ensure road safety and prevent crime. Successes registered. During the period under review, we have registered tremendous successes in our operations and activities. Chief amongst these achievements are national validation of the Gambia Police Force Bill 2024. This is a landmark achievement because the current Police Act is obsolete, archaic, and it needs to be repealed. Robust patrols leading to significant reduction of major crimes. Major crimes reduced from 63 cases in the second quarter of 2023 to 46 cases in the second quarter of 2024. Representing a decrease in violent crime from 57% in the second quarter of 2023 to 43% in the second quarter of 2024. We could not have done this without the partnership of our valued stakeholders, and that's the general public and, of course, the judiciary. We thank you most profoundly for your continued support. We have equally distributed 34 sets of office furniture to 8 police stations and posts in 2 regions to improve officers' working conditions. More furniture will be distributed to other regions in due course. We have also issued 2 sets of uniforms and berets to all police officers, and we intend to increase this to at least 3 pairs in the next fiscal year, provided funding is provided by the Ministry of Finance. And we have no doubt that they continue to render support to our operations. We have renovated 2 police stations at the police training school. This is 2 classrooms, I wanted to say, in anticipation of the imminent recruitment of potential officers. I'm sure you are aware that the GPF has embarked on a nationwide recruitment exercise where we are optimistic that close to 1,000 police officers will be recruited into the workforce of Gambia Police Force on or before the turnaround, which is 31st December 2024. We have also procured and distributed 9 brand new vehicles for 6 regions to ameliorate their mobility needs. It is our ardent hope that these vehicles will significantly enhance our crime-fighting capacity and response time to Gambians' call for police assistance. We have equally distributed 2 brand new crime scene vans to major police stations to facilitate collection and transportation of uncontaminated evidence from crime scenes to the forensic lab for analysis and storage. Mentioned earlier by the public relations officer, we are proud to report that Gambia Police Force Forensic Lab now have the capacity to collect and analyze forensic DNA samples. This development is groundbreaking because it is the first time in more than 100-year history of Gambia Police Force that we have such capacity. Our forensic experts can now conduct forensic DNA testing and biological analysis capabilities essential for modern-day policing, gather and analyze critical forensic evidence from crime scenes, identify perpetrators of sexual assault, homicide, murder, and missing person cases. Introduction of these forensic tools will improve conviction rates and speed up resolution of criminal cases through due process. We have equally procured 13 new engines to service grounded police vehicles that will be added to Gambia Police Force fleet of vehicles, so officers can respond to your calls in a timely manner. On the side of revenue, happy to report that we have generated revenue for Gambia government to the tune of $192,148,535 in just 8 months. That is from 1 January 2024 to 31st August 2024. We consider this impressive, given that we don't have all the wherewithals, neither the tools we need for revenue generation. Tools such as digitalized traffic management systems will greatly enhance our revenue generation capabilities. Moving forward, we have identified some capacity gaps, and that's why we are retraining Intake 21 and Intake 22 at the police training school and selected police stations to enhance their policing knowledge and skills for better service delivery. From the 1st of June to 31st August 2024, 165 officers were trained in gender skills audit, forensics, computer literacy, consumer protection, and ECOWAS staff officers course to prepare them for the demand of democratic policy. In accordance with our commitment to the ideals of human-centered security, we continue to engage with civil society organizations and development partners to foster trust and confidence between the police and community members. Now we move on to the challenges that we are faced with. Having discussed our successes, it is fair to talk about our challenges and tell you the approach we intend to take to find solutions to some of these challenges. Although we have recently commissioned 9 brand new vehicles and servicing 13 orders, we are nowhere near to our target of providing all major police stations with operational vehicles. Mentioned earlier in my statement at the commissioning of the 9 vehicles, population growth and its attendant expansion of communities warrant us to bring policing to the doorstep of Gambians. Now, to ensure safer communities, the police needs to optimize foot patrol, bicycle, and vehicular. Given the long distances to be covered and the speed at which criminals operate, the police cannot afford to lag behind. We need to be nimble, we need to be robust, and be very swift in our responses to citizens' call for help. Digitalization of our workflow and records management is another area that we are faced with serious challenges. For us to be more effective and efficient in our operations, the Gambia Police Force needs to transition from paper-based documentation and work processes digitalized mode of work is faster and cheaper. The turnout of officers contributes immensely to their professionalism and self-confidence. Currently, we are not able to provide sufficient uniforms to all our officers, and this is one of the major challenges we are faced with. We are equally very seriously constrained in the area of protective uniform for police officers, particularly the operatives. These officers go against dangerous and armed criminals and thus need tasers, pepper sprays, and even firearms to protect themselves and the public from these hardened and nefarious criminals. The number of police stations and barracks for the PIU and the anti-crime personnel could be better. Plans are in the offing to construct 6 more model police stations in the region to address these challenges. Now, having mentioned successes, challenges, I think it's important we try to share with you the plans that we have by way of charting a path forward to see how we can ameliorate some of these challenges. Our administration will continue working with government and international partners to enhance Gambia Police Force capacity in priority skill sets such as ballistic examiners, pathologists that could conduct post-mortem for murder homicide cases, and of course handwriting experts to detect fraud. To digitalize our operations, the UNDP supported us in building our first ever Police Integrated Information Management System, otherwise known as PIIMS, which will be piloted in few weeks. Components of this include admin and record management, police mobile app, police field and operations reporting system, and of course, incident record and case management systems. When operational, this will enhance the speed of our operations and increase efficiency in terms of budget spent on stationery and time lost due to the long turnaround times. With support from the European Union and the German Federal Foreign Office, in 2005, we will construct 6 additional model police stations in Brikama, Farapenye, Sami Karantaba, Basse, and Makamasire. The above-mentioned plans will boost our posture for crime prevention and capacity to enforce the relevant laws in accordance with democratic policing standards. Conclusion. I will conclude with a sincere appeal to all Gambians to continue supporting the Gambia Police Force in our quest to make the Gambia safe for all, irrespective of your race, gender, social status, creed, or political affiliation. I reaffirm my administration's commitment to the Gambia Police Force mission statement, which reads, to provide an excellent service, protecting and serving the people of this country. Your support is needed, and your cooperation to realize this mission will be very much appreciated. I appreciate your attendance and your kind attention. Thank you very much. No, I think I will still remain standing.
Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police. Thank you so very much for the rundown activities, achievement, challenges, and the way forward for the Gambia Police Force for the past 6 months of your leadership of this very great institution of the Gambia. And I guess you've highlighted and compared at certain level some of the successes in terms of crime reduction in percentages and that. At this point, I would want to invite the media. Firstly, I guess we are going to take 5 questions. And open, huh? It's an open question. So, yes, you can start with, you can please introduce yourself and your media house, please. Then you have the question. Please introduce yourself, your name, the media house you will represent, and your question. 1 question at a time. You give opportunity to your colleagues. We can start with Fatu Network. Yes.
Okay. My name is Ali Diallo from the Fatu Network. First, let's commend the IGP for this initiative. I can see that you will try to bring the media closer to the public. However, your successes that you made mentions are commendable. But and also the challenges. There is one area that I did not hear in terms of the challenges with regards to salaries. Because often, most of the time, a lot of police officers complain about the issue of salary, which actually tempt them into taking bribes, alleged bribes from public. And we also see a lot of police officers always on the time struggling to make ends meet. What is your administration doing in trying to adjust to the issue of police salaries? And the other question would be
One at a time, before you forget. One at a time,
Yes.
then you come back again.
the other question. Let me just put it out because I have a lot of questions.
All right.
The other question is it talks about digitalization, which actually is very important. Looking at the Gambian data system, sometimes when we want to write reports to get data, is always a problem. And you go to police stations or in courts, most of the time they tell you that their case file is lost. Now, tell us how is the Gambia Police Force going to, what step would they take in trying to make sure that all these records are digitalized and put in a system whereby everybody can have access?
Thank you.
And I'll come forward with another
Thank you.
question.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo. I will start with your last question, and that is the issue of digitalization. We have started receiving project proposals on traffic management, on fleet management, and of course, I did mention the support we got from UNDP in terms of digitalization, police app, case management, crime scene prevention, and stuff like that. So the issue of digitalization is ongoing, but there are other areas that we don't have control of. Even if we identify a potential partner to help us, on the side of traffic management, there are various stages that this document needs to progress to. And because it's certainly going to be a PPP, and we will ensure that, we get the support of those relevant offices so that, the whole project proposal can sail through. That will go a long way to assist us, in ensuring that, digitalization come to fruition. On the issue of salary, I think, you will agree that since the advent of the new dispensation, there were a good number of times that, the civil service realized, salary increment. And as a member of a very important security body that I attend meetings with, not to jump the gun of them, there are plans, at a very advanced stage, hopefully the beginning of next year, for salaries of every civil servant to be increased. This I can tell you with a great deal of certainty. On the issue of police officers receiving bribe, we always say Rome was not built in a day. We try as much as possible. And to show to you the seriousness of this administration, few months in my ascension to this position, this is not something I'm not happy to report about, but I fired 8 police officers in one single day for going around extorting money from innocent civilians in the regions. So to show you the seriousness of this command, we don't want to encourage any form of extortion, and we will not encourage any form of bribery. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, introduce yourself first.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Omar Faye. I'm a reporter for Gambia Television Services. I was going to ask on the issue of salary, but I'm glad someone did answer on it, because if I recall, during your previous press conferences, you mentioned salary as one of the major challenges, and it was also being mentioned by your peers as a challenge for everyone. I was on the department. Going forward, you've mentioned the issue of uniform to be one of your main challenges. What measures or plans do you have to engage other relevant stakeholders to make sure that uniform is provided adequately? Because I understand there are institutions here that do so uniform towards police officers, such as Government and others.
Malik, many Taylor.
Mainly and others. Are you looking towards issues of that in the long run? And secondly, also, the issue of corruption. I know it is a cross-cutting issues in almost all these sectors that you might find corruption. How does your institution going to fight the issues of corruption when it comes?
Okay. And again, Mr. Fay, I will go to your second question before the first. On the issue of corruption, to fight corruption, I will refer you to the answer that I provided to Ali of Fatu Network, okay, Fatu, I don't know. The seriousness of this leadership team is to ensure that corruption is minimized. To completely eradicate it, it's a challenge because corruption is as old as humanity. Now, what we're trying to do is to come up with tough measures to ensure that anybody who is found wanting, of course, in accordance with our existing laws, you are punished either by virtue of our Code of Conduct, the Police Act, and by extension, even the Gambian Constitution. So we will not relent on this, and we are doing our utmost to ensure it is seriously minimized. The issue of uniform, you mentioned, Malik Mendy, we don't rely heavily on central government to provide all this funding for us. We also have partners, and police also, some kind of a way, is generating revenue for itself. Ask me, how do we generate this revenue? You are aware that police officers are mounting duties at gas stations. They are doing cash escort. A small token is plowed back to Gambia Police Force to help us, support us in our operations. So part of this money, we plow it back to the welfare of Gambia police officers, fine men and women, and by way of getting them, uniforms. I mentioned in my speech that we procure brand new beret for every police officer. Actually, that one comes from those funding envelope that we had. Then on the issue of having direct opportunity for Gambian citizens, Mr. Mendy's tailoring shop is the one who sews our uniforms. And for you to know, and for record purposes, even the uniform I'm putting on here now is being sewn by Malik Mendy Tailoring Shop. Thank you.
Yes, Gambia Talents.
So thank you very much. My name is Isaac Okoli from Gambia Talents TV. And first off, I will commend your leadership for basically initiating in terms of community engagements with the Gambian people and also firing the 8 officers that you're talking about in terms of corruption. This is what we want to see leaders, taking bold steps in terms of addressing these issues. So my question is, you've made mention the Gambia now have the capacity in terms of forensic testing of forensic whatever it is done. So from that, how were you able to basically establish this? And also, you've made mention of revenue. The Gambia Police Force, I think, collect or make money for the government that is amounting to 192 million. Where does this revenue come?
Where it comes from?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Koli, Madam Koli. The revenue comes from different areas. We are issuing driver's license. We are issuing number plates, even though this is a partnership project. The company that government, Gambia Police Force, is in contract with, gets 60% of that payment. And government, Gambia Police Force, we get 40%. So if the cost of a driver's license is $100, that company cuts away 60, while we take 40. We are also issuing gun license. We are equally issuing where is Usman? Certificate of character, international driver's license. Sorry, I have the document. It was provided to me earlier this week, but I don't think I'm going to face this question, so I left it in the office. But then, there are very revenue heads, that we are helping. Mandatory fines as well, sports fines. These are all contributors, to this overall money. And I think your next question was the forensic lab, how we managed to get this. Okay, we got 5.1 million support from the central government, which was a budget given to us. It was not enough, but again, we tap elsewhere to ensure that, we top that money so that, we have this forensic lab up and running. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, QTV.
Okay, good morning. My name is William Kamara from QTV. First, I would like to commend you for this remarkable achievement that you've just highlighted. It's really commendable. We really thank you for that. And having this press conference to talk to the media about some of the things that have gone right and some of the things that you want to work on. So I just want to ask, what are some of the lessons learned during your time, during this 180 days in office? What are some of the lessons you've learned in terms of crime, in terms of capacity? And I want you to put more emphasis on capacity building, because most of the time the public outcry is of police officers, really, violating our rights. So emphasis should really be placed on capacity. I want you to talk more about that and the lessons you've learned so far.
Loli, thank you. Well, you look very different when you are before the TV cameras and now. I don't know why. Okay. On the side of capacity building, perhaps, we should have been more elaborate. But we are aware that, recently we have received 10 police officers who just graduated from a reputable university in Turkey, 8 male and 2 female. That finished their master's degree program. I have mentioned in my speech that when we noticed the capacity gap of our last 2 batches of 2021 and 2022, we decided to send them back to the training school. And management has invested close to $4 million to retrain those officers. This training is ongoing and it is going to end by mid-November. So on the side of capacity building, yes, we have also procured tickets for 7 officers, young officers I mean, for them to go to Turkey sometime early next week to go and pursue their master's degree in the same university that the former batch graduated from.
So maybe these people are not, being deployed on the streets to really, deal with people directly.
No, they're going to deal with them.
Okay.
What we do is we want to have a right placement for each and every police officer, especially the graduates. It doesn't really make sense to us for someone to graduate, let's say, for example, master's degree in human resource management, when that person is languishing somewhere in Kaur or Kuntao. No offense here, but we think, if someone is able to develop his or her own capacity, if individual capacities are built, that goes to show, the capacity of the institution. So we think the best placement for such officer is to be at the headquarters, even though he doesn't necessarily have to be in charge of the human resources. But that's where he acquires his academics, and that's where his strength and skill set lies. So we try to put them in the right placement. With time, these officers will also go out, because police work is not only in the office. You must have to go out and know the experience outside. So we'll ensure that we do this, Loli. Very well. I've just been informed. Of course, I was part of this discussion. We're going to have what we call Diploma in Police Science, and we're going to roll this program at the University of the Gambia next month. We had a serious discussion on this, and part of this payment is funding. The balance of the payment will come from Gambia Police Force. Next question, please.
Yes, please. Your name and...
Thank you very much. I am Deva Ansumani. I work for the Gamba Times newspaper. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to ask these 2 questions. Recently, we have seen businessmen donating vehicles and other items that the Gambia Police Force. In your view, don't you think this will compromise effective operations of the Gambia Police Force? 2, the Gambia Police Force has been accused by the opposition of siding with the ruling party, especially during times of election. How do you plan to ensure justice among all political parties and political militants, cognizant of your relationship with the current president? Thank you very much.
My relationship with? No,
Let me qualify.
no, it's not an allege. I come from a community or a village called Pira. It is in the Combo East District. His Excellency the President come from Jimana in a village called Mankama. As far as I am concerned, there is no DNA between me and him. Yes. So, Keba, that alleged allegation, as you call it.
Review. This is what why we are here to ask and.
No, it's okay. I have no problem with this. I'm just making clarification. So, for your information, there is no relationship. Very well. What's your next question?
In fact, that question is not that. I mean, how will you ensure that there is equality among all political parties?
Well, you mentioned about elections.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Well, since
And business people, GV.
No, I will come to that. I'll come to that. That's your first question. In terms of election,
Yes.
you will agree with me from 1st of March 2024 to date, there was no election in this country. So you cannot gauge my performance when elections are yet to happen. Wait until it's election time, see my performance, then come and ask me this same question. Okay? No, I will go to your next question, and that is the donation. No, I think I've answered you. I will still give you the floor. Ask your question.
The next question is businessmen donate.
No, that's what I'm coming to, and you interjected. I think you should just allow me to
Yeah,
flow.
because I wasn't, saying what.
But then if you ask questions, you need to be attentive.
Now,
That's how
because
good journalists behave. You ask questions, listen to my answer.
The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you. On the side of donations, government cannot do it alone. And stakeholders, this is what we call corporate social responsibility. If Keba Ansumane, who is a business tycoon, deem it necessary to support the operations of the police by donating us 10 vehicles, I will willingly and gallantly accept these donations, and I will ensure that it's publicized. But if Keba Ansumane thinks that donating the Gambia Police Force 10 vehicles, you can go whatever you think that will be in conflict with the law, otherwise known as go and do whatever we call Nakasudut Nunu. We are sitting here waiting for you. Next question, please.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Then, if not, then back to yes.
Okay. Thank you for another opportunity again. My other question would be the issue of financing, which a lot of people have issues on. Police being the institution actually issuing lancing, at the same time, let's say you are the player and the referee. Is there any plans for the Gambia Police Force to actually give the issue of lancing to a private entity? And the other question would be, you made mention of the reduction of traffic accidents. Could the police give us statistics or data with regards to road accidents, including
Go, it's here.
number of
It's
deaths,
here. When you finish, you can go.
number
Yes.
of deaths, and also major injuries? Thank you.
Very well. Thank you very much.
For the other question.
Okay. I will call it. Mr. Diallo,
Yes, sir.
our operations, our work is backed by relevant laws of the Gambia. The laws of the Gambia recognize Gambia Police Force to be the issuing authority of driver's license. If you want that to happen, please liaise with the National Assembly, the legislature, help us change those laws. We will willingly transfer that responsibility to any authority as deemed necessary by the National Assembly. On this time of on the side of crime statistics, major crime. First quarter of 2023, last year, rape, we had 15 cases. Same period, 2024, we have 11 cases. Murder, 2023 last year, we had 2 cases first quarter. First quarter of 2024, we have 4 cases. I hope you understand the trajectory now. I just want to go, not to mention the arson. 2023, 2, 2024, 3. Rash and negligent act causing death, 7 and 4. Robbery, 15 and 13. Burglary, 4 and 6. Cattle theft, 22 and 9. Defilement of a girl under the age of 18, 10. 2024 is 0. Economic crime, 1. The grand total, first quarter of last year, 67. First quarter of this year, 50. There is a graph depicting all these things. Traffic accidents. First quarter of last year, you mentioned police stations. I'm giving you the respective jurisdictions. Mobile traffic, no, Banjul division. 9, 2023 first quarter. 16, 2024 first quarter. Mobile traffic, 41 and 69. Brikama, 41 and 57. Mansa Konko, 0, last year first quarter. 18, first quarter this year. Jain Jambure, 0, 2024, 0. Basse, 2023, last year, first quarter, 12, first quarter this year. Denton Bridge traffic, 14, first quarter last year, 0, first quarter this year. Serakunda mobile traffic, 12, first quarter last year, 21, first quarter this year. Bundu mobile traffic, 10 and 12. Senegambia traffic, 0 and 8. Kotu traffic, 0 and 4. Farafenye, 35 and 25. Total, 185, first quarter of last year, 242, first quarter this year. Total number of traffic cases for the first quarter of 2023 and 2024. Fatal accidents. Fatal. First quarter of last year, 28. First quarter of 2024, 29. Serious injury accidents. First quarter of last year, 62. First quarter of this year, 83. Minor injury accidents, 50 and 64. Non-injury accidents, 45 and 66. Again, we have a graph to indicate this. Comparison of major crime offenses for the second quarter of 2023 and 2024. Rape, 8, second quarter of 2023, 11, second quarter of 2024. Murder, 6, second quarter of 2023, 4, second quarter of 2024. Arson, 0, second quarter of last year, 1, second quarter of 2024. Rash and negligent act causing death, 8, last year, second quarter, 5, second quarter 2024. Robbery, 16, last year, second quarter, 14, second quarter 2024. Burglary, 3, last year, second quarter, 2, second quarter this year. Cattle theft, 22, for second quarter of last year, 6, second quarter of this year. Grand total, 63, second quarter last year, 46, second quarter of this year. So we are faring well. You don't need to qualify that. We have the
I
statistics.
hope this statistic will be shared on the police platform so everybody can actually have access to it.
Well, management will discuss and we'll get back to you on this because some of these things are confidential.
That's very easy.
I know you're not happy to hear this, but that's by the way. We go to road traffic accidents. If you are not listening, I will give chance to another person. Okay. Police stations, second quarter of 2023, road traffic accidents, Banjul region 7. Second quarter of 2024, 7 again. Mobile traffic, 50 last year, second quarter, 56 second quarter this year. Brikama region, 133 second quarter last year, 38 second quarter this year. Mansa Konko, 11 last year, 6 this year. Janjambura is still 0-0. Base, 24 second quarter last year, 3 second quarter this year. Serekunda mobile traffic, 17 second quarter last year, 19 second quarter this year. Denton Bridge, 7 second quarter last year, 0 second quarter 2024. Farafenye, 29 last year, 22 this year. Total, 278 road traffic accidents, second quarter of last year, 151 second quarter of this year. So there is improvement, significant one. Total number of traffic cases that are prosecuted, fatal accidents, 29 last year, 19 this year. Serious injury, 114, 52. Minor injury, 85, 48. Non-injury accidents, 50, 32. Grand total, 278, 151. I think this brings us to the end of the statistics, if that serves you well. Mr. Jalo. Next question, please.
Yes, Anita. Anita, please.
Okay, I'm Anita Mendy from GMICTV. So my question is, what measures are put in place for the control of vehicles, all vehicles rather, who line the roads and sometimes cause congestions?
They cause congestions.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll get stopped. Either they will lose brake or something different, and then they'll just be on the road. So other drivers come in. I will sometimes notice that, and then you start waiting.
You are right. You are right. You are right. Our main challenge in that area is we don't have a towing vehicle. Our towing vehicle has breakdown, and we realize that it's extremely difficult for us to fix it. It's better we get a new one, procure a new one. If we have such, it will make the work of the mobile traffic very, very easy. And that is by way of just going and lift the vehicle. The payment of that removal lies on the owner of the vehicle. So give us a little bit of time, perhaps before our next one, I'll be able to have a satisfactory answer to your question. Thank you very much. Next question?
Yes, yeah, yes. It's okay. Any more?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police, Sidi Mukhtar Toure, for faring very well with the press conference. I know it has been a marathon one with the questions coming from all areas of our activities, especially some of the challenges. And we are not surprised. Are we together, please? We are not surprised. The questions from the journalists, usually that's how it is. Usually on the negative side and the shortcomings. But we appreciate the fact that you acknowledge. We appreciate the fact that journalists acknowledge the good job that the Gambia Police Force is doing, especially the fact that the Inspector General of Police himself has given you the opportunity on a quarterly basis to have an interface with him, and not only enlightening you and informing you of the activity of the Gambia Police Force, but also an opportunity for you to ask. And we hope this will continue. I am more than happy as a public relations officer because most of my job is done for me for the next, let's say, 1 month. So we are so grateful for your coming, and we appreciate that, and we hope that this will continue between us. At the end of the day, it's for the Gambia. That's what matters. We are doing our quota for the Gambia. You are doing your quota for the Gambia. It's the common goal, and hopefully we will achieve that. With this, I thank you all for coming and for your attention.